Hello everyone, my name is Emily and this is my TBR for Tome Topple Readathon Round 10. For those of you who don't know, Tome Topple Readathon was created by Sam from Thoughts on Tomes. This is the readathon where we try to conquer our fear of those large books on our TBRs and just spend 2 weeks reading them. There are prompts available for this readathon, but I don't really follow them. I just pick up any large books I feel like reading and try to read them. This readathon I think is taking place from February 7th to February 20th. So I think that's my spiel for now. Let's talk about my TBR. The first book on my list is a book I am already reading. That's Susanna Clarke's Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. This is about an alternative Regency England with wizards. It specifically focuses on two wizards, Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, and their differing ideas about magic. I've been powering through the audiobook for this. I've been really enjoying it, and I'm really hoping to finish this out during the readathon. The next book on my TBR is Cloud Atlas by David Mitchell. This has been on my TBR forever. This is also on my list of books to read in 2020. All I know about it is that there are 6 narratives, but they're all interlinked somehow. Anyway, this is just one of those books that everyone's been telling me to read for a while, and I think this readathon is just a good opportunity to do that. The next book on my list is The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. This is another book on my list of reading resolutions for 2020. This is the first book in the Stormlight Archive, which is also in Brandon Sanderson's Cosmere. It's one of those really epic, sprawling fantasies, and I feel like I'm just denying myself of a whole cultural experience by not reading it. This is also one of those books that people have been telling me to read for years, so I'm finally going to get around to it this time. The next book on my list is Kushiel's Dart by Jacqueline Carey. This is the first book in the Kushiel's Legacy series. It's a fantasy series about courtesans and angels. It's one of those books that I own but haven't been able to get around to for ages. I have the audiobook and I have the Kindle edition, so at this point there's no excuse for me to not have read it. Next on my list is Nevernight by Jay Kristoff. I think this is the first book in, I forget what the series is called. Is it called the Nevernight trilogy? Apparently this is a fantasy with a revenge narrative, but it's also about books as well. I have the Kindle edition, but I've been told that a physical edition or an audiobook is best because there are a lot of footnotes in it that add to the story. One of my commenters told me this is the best way to absorb this book. Apparently in the Kindle edition, all of the footnotes are pushed to the end of the chapter, and I guess this interferes with the enjoyment of the story a little bit. So if you've read Nevernight, please comment below and tell me how you read it and which format you found the most enjoyable, because I was resolved to read it on Kindle, but I may have to go out and buy a physical copy or get the audiobook, so let me know. Finally on my TBR is A Gathering of Shadows by V.E. Schwab. This is the second book in her Shades of Magic series. I reread the first book last year and I really enjoyed it and have been really wanting to continue the series ever since, and also just read more V.E. Schwab. I've been told that this book really ups the game in this series, so I'm really looking forward to it. And of course, this is the amazing Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. This series is about a guy called Kel who has the ability to travel between worlds, officially as a messenger and unofficially as a smuggler of forbidden objects. The story really kicks off when he finds a very powerful object that he really shouldn't have, and everyone starts to chase him for it. I really loved the world building in the first book and the portrayal of magic, and also in my second reading I became very engaged with the characters, so I'm really looking forward to spending more time with them again. So that's it for my Tome Topple Readathon TBR. Let me know down below if you are also doing this readathon, and let me know what books you're reading. Remember to like this video if you liked it and subscribe if you like my content. You can follow me on Goodreads, Twitter, and Instagram, and I will see you in my next video.